Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We're going to get this done. So we've got a ton of news to talk about. Staci is on her way. But in the meantime, I've got some notes that I would like to share. Lots of notes that I've been taking in my free time, which is very limited. And we'll talk about the grandfather of all scams. What do you guys think the grandfather of all scams are? Climate? Maybe the snake spit virus? Possibly ESG. That could be the case. Because that is exactly what it is. We are funding what is happening through pensions. It's crazy. Check it out. BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, and Investco, those are some of the big ones, are the global leaders. Your funds are managed and are pushing woke policies to break America. So the ESG thing that the pensions have to line up with if they want funding.
They do.
They're going to quit calling it ESG.
Well,
They're going to call it something else.
two of them already have backed up.
Oh, yeah. We don't want to, no, don't call it ESG.
Let's talk about that in a minute, I'll tell you.
Okay.
Because shareholders are stepping up and going, they don't like it.
But it doesn't stop with those. And I know a lot of people that are listening to us are involved with these companies. And you guys are just coming on and see it picking up. 81 people here. BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, Investco, Fidelity, JP Morgan, Capital Group, T. Rowe Price, PIMCO, Franklin Templeton. All of them. I did a search. All of them are getting in line with the green weenies that want to worship the new god of the ESG people, the few. And it's ESGism. And whoever serves them the best gets to have bailouts. They get to have these things. You know, that's why you see these woke companies going broke, but it doesn't seem to matter. They keep doing the same thing. They're essentially getting in line with what's coming. The people that manage your retirement pension are actively pushing things like what we talk about all the time. Now, it is like a catch-22.
It is.
It's like your pension, your retirement, all this is wrapped up in this ESG movement, this going woke, and yeah, go woke, go broke. Why are they still doing it? Because it doesn't matter. The largest sum of money is controlled by all the people that I just listed. And just think about that. The largest sum of money is controlled by the people that are welcoming and saying, okay, we're going to be green. Don't worry about it. We're going to do, and just so you know, ESG is environmental, social and governance. Mm-hmm. So heavy on the governance. That's just it, guys. There was something else I wanted to talk to you about. ESG is the one-sided tool to push everything towards what the American people do not want. I wrote that down myself the other day. And I also wrote down this. It kind of struck me as I was studying Proverbs 22:1. A good name is rather to be chosen than great riches, a loving favor rather than silver and gold. So, we'll get on with the news, but it's happening, and it's like everybody's wrapped up in it. It's like we didn't choose this. Nobody chose the ESG, but the pensions are, because they want the funding. They want to be a part of, whatever's coming, because that's the new thing. So that's it on that.
Okay, yeah.
I'm doing a whole story on this. This is just where I started on the ESG movement. It's dead on arrival, I think. But, you know, we've got a ton of news that was just something I want to share.
ESG, it's become a thing. It's become actually an issue. Before we go any further, you guys, someone made a comment this morning. They're like, "Hey, you guys, you stop starting your programs or your videos with scriptures." And I'm like, "Man, you're right. We haven't for the last couple times." So guess what? You get 2 of them today then. All right, Proverbs again. You ready? Proverbs 23, both of them. As you listen to me, my beloved child, you will grow in wisdom, and your heart will be drawn into understanding, which will empower you to make the right decisions. You guys think about that for a minute. The second one is, don't allow the actions of evil men to cause you to burn with anger. Instead, burn your unrelenting passions as you worship God in holy awe. Your future is bright and filled with the living hope that will never fade away. And those kind of scriptures, thanks, Mr. Al. And that was right. We need
living
to
hope that'll never fade away. That sounds really fun.
Yeah,
that sounds awesome.
And right, we need to start that with that as our hope. That is everything that we have, pretty much. All right, so let's get on with the rest of it. And somebody just said local Walmart automotive is always busy on Saturday. They sent 4 customers back home. They didn't have the required oil or tires. Orders will not arrive for 2 weeks. It's a supply problem. And this was just in the comments. And Jen, thank you. I'm going to try to keep up with the comments here. So you got a problem, obviously, with supplies. And we've talked about this. We were talking about earlier about how we're having supplies issue. Yellow just went bankrupt. UPS possibly having a strike. We tried to talk about that in the earlier video. Then we went black and tried to do audio.
American Airlines.
American Airlines. Then you've got also the auto industry.
Yeah, check this out. Can we talk about the strikes for a second?
Let's talk about it.
American Airlines flight attendants have voted to authorize a strike. Look, going flying right now is just, oh man,
It's tough.
You just don't know. You better start your journey early in the morning because they will not. We had some people just not show up. They were like, oh, well, the crew didn't show up. Sorry, you guys are late over.
Yep, we did.
We stay in Jamaica.
And you remember the guys, the people that decided that they didn't want to fly, and they went to the door and they demanded everybody. And then once someone goes to the door, demands to be let out, everybody has to be let out, and you can't no longer fly. So it's interesting flying, but keep going.
Yeah, well, it's just the deterioration of the economy. American airline pilots have negotiated a 46% raise and rejected a previous offer. So, hey, good deal. The United Auto Workers industry accuses GM, Ford, and Stellantis of not bargaining in good faith, and they have voted to strike if they don't get a 46% raise as well. And a 32-hour work week. So you want a 46% raise and a 32-hour work week. That's impressive. I didn't have any of this. I was never, I always kind of did my own thing and worked contract work, most of my life.
You did.
And we didn't have this.
Yep.
You showed up or somebody else would show up, and this is different for me. The demands that raised a shorter work week from various industries could lead to a significant price increase for consumers. That's who's going to pay for all this. Who's going to pay for all the strikes, all the stuff that's going on, is us. The end consumer always gets to foot the bill. It goes for all of it. Everything, the rental property, all the stuff that they put into place that is for our best interest, for our safety, for our well-being, is the direct opposite because the consumer will pay.
They always do.
Yeah, always.
It always gets passed down. Doesn't matter if it's taxes that the government, that they say, oh, they're going to give you stimulus, they're going to give you free paychecks, they're going to give you this. It's always passed down to the citizens. It always is.
Car companies are automating jobs. Guys, this is coming fast. This AI movement, this automation, we've already had automation, but it is on the fast track now. It is approaching light speed. So everybody that's got a cushy job that you know for sure some kind of AI can do, some type of accounting, some type of, all you have to do is go mess with an AI. I don't want you to get married to it. Don't depend on it. Don't worship it. Don't fall in love with it and marry it. Say AI stuff's getting weird. But I would like you to see exactly what's coming, because there's going to be very, very fewer jobs in the future, which is going to lead to, you're going to start hearing UBI all the time. It's coming. It's coming. The next few years, you're going to start hearing this. People can't make it. We've got to have universal basic income. Trucks are driving themselves. I understand we're a little far away from there, but it's getting faster and faster. When was the best time to get prepared? Well, if you didn't start 20 years ago, today's the best time. So, but that's what I do. When I go down a rabbit hole, I was like, whoa, this is coming. Like, there's no way to talk me out of it. So get prepared. Anything else on this?
Well, you've got UPS right now. You've got the auto worker strikes. You've just got a couple of different companies. You got the yellow company that went bankrupt, which obviously affects the shipping department. So you guys just keep your eye on all this kind of stuff, because when you look at the bankruptcies, and I'll just talk about this for a second when we talk about all the stuff that's going on with strikes. Let's go and transition to bankruptcies real quick, because this affects all the businesses. And I was looking it up just earlier, and it says the bankruptcies has jumped. Listen to this, you guys. Chapter 11 bankruptcy filings, which that does mean they're restructuring. They're not maybe completely going under. I get that. But it's 68% in the first half of 2023. That's a lot, you guys. They said they went from a total of 2,973 commercial, Chapter 11 commercial. We've been talking about this, about the commercial businesses, you guys. They were filed in the first 6 months of 2023 versus compared to 1,766 in the same period last year. Additionally, Chapter 13, which is not so great, they also saw a 23% jump in the same period. So you guys, we're seeing this over and over, and I just want to give you another one right now. They catch you by surprise every now and then. It's like little companies that they're either zombie companies or companies that you don't anticipate. So there was a company that was American brand an Amazon brand that Amazon was dealing with. They went to them apparently the other day and they said, hey, what about this order that we have? Apparently they have filed bankruptcy and they owed $85 million. And let's see, it's called Bentigo. It's a struggling e-commerce startup. So these things are happening every day with these companies, and you just constantly have to keep your eye on it. So I follow bankruptcies. That's one of the things I do, and I follow different things like that. So
foreclosures.
I like watching them. I get online and I look.
Yeah, well, that's the way to be early.
It is. It's how we've got some of our rental properties.
Yeah,
Yeah.
That's the truth.
Yeah.
And the best way to pick up a rental property, just a little tidbit, is get them before they go to foreclosure. Try to pick them up, doing the people that are trying to get out a service, and it really worked.
So real quick before you go on to the ESG and all that kind of stuff, this ESG has become a huge political hotspot. It's become, it's become a trigger name, and even to the point where BlackRock, the other day, they kind of stepped back, and if you saw in the news, and we actually did a video about this, where they kind of took a step back, the CEO did, and he said, oh, we're not going to use ESG, the verbiage anymore. We're going to use, I forget the verbiage they were going to use anymore. And
I can't wait to hear it.
Well, they weren't, because it was such, and their shareholders came out and they voted against all these policies that were ESG, and they went way down in what they were voting for, and they said, no, we're not going to do it because it's not sustainable. Matter of fact, if you look right now, Shell right now is another article I'm going to talk about real quick before we go on from ESG, or after we go to ESG, but Vanguard has now joined them and said, you know what? We're going to join BlackRock. We're the same thing. They're shareholders. This is when it comes to the money. You guys, companies can speak all day in the world. They can say what they want. They can say ESG. They can say what they're going to do. They were going to put $10 million, $100 million, all this kind of stuff into supposedly ESG. Well, guess what? The shareholders came to vote, and they said, oh, no, not happening. Last year, it was 12%, and now it was only 2% of environmental and social resolutions, and that's by the shareholders. Because they said, you know what? It does not pay us to vote this way. So the Vanguard now has come back and they've backed off and said we're backing off the ESG. And one more thing before we go on that, Shell Company, talking about ESG and all that kind of stuff and digital carbon footprint and all that kind of stuff. Shell has also come out and said, quote, they were supposed to spend $100 million per year to build up a pipeline carbon credit. They have come out and they said, no, we're ditching it. They said it is not sustainable. It's not sustainable. They said we cannot even profit from this, and they have ditched it. They've not really talked about it. They just kind of slid it to the side. There you guys go. There you go. So you got Vanguard, you got BlackRock, you got Shell, you got all these big companies that silently are pushing these ESG.
They're abandoning
these
the carbon credits.
Yep. But what the government is pushing.
That. Yeah, I don't understand it completely. So they're just not going to participate.
They said this is quote.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, don't they have to?
No.
Isn't that the deal?
He said in quote. He said it is unsustainable. He said.
Well, I knew that. I mean, that's all. So is going.
He said there is no effective way to maintain a large enough offset program to make a difference.
Yeah.
That's a CEO, and he came out and said that.
Yeah, he's right. I just didn't know they could opt out.
Well, apparently they're shelving it. They said, and apparently they weren't trying to let everyone know, but someone did find out and leaked it, and it's on the news now. Well, not mainstream media, but it's
the carbon credit scheme was aimed at offsetting the carbon emissions produced by Shell's customers by investing in projects that reduced emissions elsewhere. So that's how Robert Kiyosaki made a bunch of money. I actually asked him about it in person. He was a prick about it, but he didn't say anything. Actually, he just said, "Yeah, he made a lot of money," and he just turned his back to me and walked away. But there's a lot of people that knew about this early that knew that these companies would have to buy these carbon credits in order to offset their footprint. So if you use too much carbon, you got to buy more carbon credits. It's a big scam. It's part of the big scam that we're all having to deal with. Shell's decision to quietly ditch the scheme suggests a shift in the company's approach to addressing climate change and reducing carbon emissions. I'm just going to guess that Shell could care less, just like the other people that are involved. They don't care about the climate.
No,
they couldn't care less. There's a few things they do care about, and that's having less people. The development raises questions about the viability and effectiveness of carbon credit schemes in achieving meaningful environmental impact. So, it means nothing. It's a nothing burger. Whoa, the winner of the arm wrestling takes on Kitty from J Bravo channel. There you go.
We're still talking about the arm wrestling?
Yeah, we just got a $20 super chat.
We got to do that one night.
The winner, which will be you.
Of course it will, because I'm going to win.
You have to arm wrestle Kitty. That's Johnny Bravo's
wife?
Well, we don't really know. I think. Possibly.
I don't know. Well, I'm going to win because I have powers. So, go ahead. Keep going.
We got schemes, too.
We got scams and schemes.
All right, let's talk about the Biden administration and their new Gun Control Act. It's exactly what they're calling it, too.
Hey, real quick, just before you go for the gun, I just got a text real quick. I cannot say who and what all it's about, but let's talk about American Airlines real quick. The flight attendants are in a mediation, which could take about a year to authorize a strike under the Labor Act. And so the flight attendants are now. So you guys, if you're flying American Airlines, check your flight. Because apparently we've got some issues with American Airlines.
We got to fly to Vegas.
We got to check that out.
All right. September 30. If you can make it and everybody's not on strike and the snake spit virus is not being pushed all over the place like it's something, and you don't have to have the new medicine and all that stuff, we're going to be there. There's a good chance, like a 99% chance we're going to be there. I'm going to figure out a way to go. And we might be a little ways from that. But if you want to come to Vegas, September 30 weekend, me, Heresy Financial, the Economic Ninja, Jack, Nobody Special Finance, Jesse,
Shielded Prepper.
The Shielded Prepper, Divvy Daddy, can't remember his name.
Patrick.
Well, no, his YouTube. There's a ton of people going to be there. And they're actually going to talk a little bit about Divvy Daddy is about crypto. I talked to him about an hour about crypto, and he's got some really good points. Sorry, guys. I'm a holder, too. I'm a big bullion, precious metals guy. But the future looks to be digital. I'm just saying.
So what were you going on to next? The article?
The Biden administration proposed a new rule
Okay, we got to be careful
that
about
could
this.
potentially
talking about
criminalize even a single pew seed dispenser, whatever you want to call it, sale without conducting a background check. So now you can't, they want you to not be able to sell your seed dispenser to a friend or family. It's just more control, guys. The only thing, it's just stupid. If we lose that, it's gone. Well, actually, if you lose freedom of speech, it's gone. But the proposed rule seeks to clarify the definition of a dealer under the Pew Control Act. I've already said gun once. I'm trying not to do it again. And of course, critics argue the new rule would infringe on the Second Amendment, which it absolutely does, 100%, without a doubt. They don't want you to be able to protect yourself from the government. That is what the Second Amendment is for. It's not for anything else. That is exactly what it's for. Because the people that put everything in motion, that lost everything, that came to the new country, put these controls in place, but they don't want you to have those because they want to be able to take you at gunpoint, at pew point. Oh, I'm messing up. Sorry, guys. But
this is a sensitive topic, and I wasn't sure if we should even talk about it. Actually, I reached out to Chris's friend, who is one of our contacts that we talk about all the time. We say, if you're interested, we will put you in touch with him. He gave me a really interesting video that's on Rumble. We cannot put it on YouTube. If you're interested in that video on Rumble, I will send you the link. I'm not going to put the name of it on YouTube.
We'll share it on the FP Network.
Yeah, I'll
Rumble is FP Network.
Well, no, you can't share it. You can't share. That's the thing.
You can't share on content?
No, I have not been able to figure out how to share it. But I will give
That's
you
the thing with
the
Rumble,
name.
it's clunky.
It's clunky. But I will give you the name of the user. It's a great video. He breaks it down exactly what this rule is. So there's a rule coming out. It's been proposed. It's not been amended. It's going to be voted on. It's not in effect yet. But he breaks it down exactly what it means. And it's extremely vague. It leaves all these open doors, it seems to be, where they could do this, they can do this, they could do this. And it all seems to be where they basically want to regulate pretty much everything. They want to know everything. They want to know every piece. And they want to know every serial number. And they want to know who actually owns it. And that's what I'll say about that and leave it at that, so that we don't get in trouble for that. But anyway, that is... It's a rule. It's been proposed right now, you guys. It's going up for vote. I pray that it doesn't get passed, because if it does, that's one more thing that's going to be taken away our rights. So you guys check it out. I put it on the Twitter page. It's actually highlighted, the actual article, and it shows exactly what it says. So it's going up for vote.
So we were talking about Luke. That's my friend from childhood. I've known him my whole life. I know personally, I can vouch for him. He's a good person. And he has dispensers, dispenser packages, dispenser holders, everything you can imagine in bulk. And that's who I use, that's who I've always used, and that's who I will only use because I get the best deal there. So that's why I encourage you. All you have to do is reach out to me. How do you want to reach out?
So I would just reach out to that number, 318. Well, you probably can't see but 318-564-5823. Text me, and I will send you his contact information straight from my phone.
I'm not getting paid to talk about him. I just want the people, the community that we share, that's growing every day, people are waking up every day, to have a home protection 401k that will go up in price as this news comes out. As more of this pew control happens, those prices will go up. There's no ifs, ands, or maybes. This will happen. It happens all the time. Right now, all that stuff that we're talking about is, I don't know if it's rock bottom prices. I don't know. But what I do know, one day, go back to South Africa, they were out of seeds.
Yep.
They were spending boatloads of money
And
for
begging
seeds.
people. Yep.
And you can invest in those things and have it to sell at 10x prices, because the Pew Pew seed holders 10x'd the last time this happened, or maybe the time before the last time. It's happened several times. So just know that's a legitimate play that I'm actively encouraging people very discreetly, because we want to plant our garden, and times are coming where you need a garden and you need seeds and seed holders and all that stuff. And
I agree.
By
the way, after our first video failed this morning, I should have posted. Well, I did post on Twitter. If you guys went and looked, you can see what Chris was doing. That's what we actively do. He was out there working on our pole barn.
You post a video? I haven't even seen it.
No, I showed a photo of you and your dad out there working. I said, this is what we do. This is actively what we do. Because some people are like, what do you guys do? And this is, I showed a photo of you guys out there in the dirt and the heat and trying to do all that stuff. What you looking at?
I was just looking at somebody's getting 1,000 seeds and 30 seed dispensers.
I love it.
Yes.
I love it.
Those seed dispensers are going to go up. I
it.
put my money where my mouth is.
Well, we do. Yep.
Yep. I'm not trying to sell them. This is all for you guys. I'm just telling you, that stuff's going to go up. Period.
Actually, okay, on that note, I'll just talk about this.
Saying, well, think about the people that are in the stock market and they're just buying a share of Google, hoping it goes higher. What if you had something you hold at your house that'll protect you? Anyway, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, you're right. So I just finished reading this book. 1 second after. I'm getting ready to get the next book. My brother-in-law just finished the second book. And you guys, that was what was so important in this book that I took away. You can hold all the different things that you want in the world, but I took away a list of items. And actually somebody Mr. Al, he actually contacted me today. And he said, Staci, I think you need to remind people again to maybe just say, hey, just prep just a little bit. Just buy a few extras. And I told Chris the other day, I said, I think I'm going to buy an extra pair of boots, because we work a lot around the garden, in the yard and stuff like that. And one of the things that this guy that was talking about in this book, he said, I didn't think about buying an extra pair of shoes. And just little things, medicines, vitamins, different things like that, what Chris was talking about, the seeds and all that kind of stuff, and canned goods. And it was just, when I finished that book, I actually stayed up to midnight one night because I could not put the book down, literally. I was like, oh my goodness. And I was having a list next to me. I was writing stuff down. Chris wakes up the next morning. I'm like, I got to go to the store. I'm like, I got to buy some more stuff. But anyway, where do you want to go next?
Next, Sweden.
All right.
Pull up Sweden.
I'm ready. Got it right here.
Sweden has recently implemented a mandatory reporting policy for landlords, requiring them to report tenants suspected of living illegally in the country. This is something President Trump told them it would happen, and they told Trump to mind his own business. Does that sum it up?
So this is exactly what they said. Can I quote? Do you mind if I quote it, what they said?
Quote whatever you want.
So he got out there. So President Trump, he said, look what's happening in Sweden. He said, I'm telling you guys, pay attention. He said, you guys are about to have a problem. He actually said this as a president. He said it in several different rallies when he was running for president, and then he also said it when he was president. And this is quote, this is from a Twitter account, and this is quote, hey Don, this is Sweden speaking. It's nice of you to care, really, but I don't fall for the hype. Facts, we're okay. Then it says, fast forward 6 years and report that 100,000 more people are living in the country. They're looting, raping everybody, stealing everything, destroying everything. And now all of a sudden, the migration minister is going, okay, whoa, this has become a really bad issue. Now she's going to say, anybody that is in a public sector, public office, anything like that, you're going to have to report if there's an illegal person around that you know of, or you're going to face consequences. That's how bad it's become. And they're not going to get health services anymore. They're not going to be able to go to schools.
But the critics are arguing that this policy could lead to a discrimination and stigmatization of certain communities, as landlords may unfairly, lost for words, but the landlords might target individuals that could be based on their appearance or something like that. So at what point is it not, is it your decision? It should be your decision. Your property is your decision, right?
Well, I think Sweden is basically saying to us now, okay, hey, you guys, this is what we're doing. This is what we're facing. So you better wake up, America, because that's what we're about to face, right? I mean, if at some point, if we don't see what they're facing and what they're going through in other countries.
We're definitely going to. We are now. The border's open, guys. They've welded the gates open.
Yep.
There's no shutting them. It's wide open. Come on over. We'll take care of you. We'll put you in a hotel. We'll feed you. We'll take all of your Medicaid, all of your needs. We'll buy your necessities. It is the wrong incentives from the government.
Yeah, well, they're giving them money. They're giving them free cell phones. They're giving all that. And Sweden finally said, okay, that's enough. They're saying that they are going to take away their health care. They're going to take away their schools. Matter of fact, as I was watching in New York right now, all the different kids that are being signed up for schools, it's overwhelming their school district. So New York is finally saying, we don't have any more room for kids because it's overwhelming them. By the way, somebody just said that Doug and Staci, off the grid, they're in the comments. Someone said, they just text me that we follow you guys. If you're in the comments, please say hi. I don't know how to identify that. Jen just said, but if you're in the comments, please say hello. But I don't know. I don't know how to see that right now. We're
off grid with Doug and Staci. Hi.
I don't know how to.
Off grid with Doug and Staci.
Yeah,
Got to check.
I don't know how to see that because we're trying to go. Oh, right now they just did off grid with Doug and Staci. They just said hello. Hi, you guys. I do follow you guys. I watch you sometimes on YouTube. So hi, good to see you guys. But yeah, that's becoming an issue. You guys, this immigration thing, I think it's going to become a bigger issue as we go along. And I think it's also going to become an election issue. And matter of fact is, Mr. Al just contacted me the other day and he said, Staci, he said, I think you need to tell your viewers we've got an election coming up. And he said, I think you need to start preparing on a few issues and a few items because when you have an election coming up, there's going to be possibly a few... well, people aren't so happy about certain things, and you could possibly have certain, when you've got the trucker issues, and you've got the strikes, and you've got all that, and he said, just tell people just to stock up on a few things. And we're not these crazy preppers. We don't have a bunker. We don't have any of that stuff. But you guys just go stock up on a few things. Just get a few extra cans, get a few extra vitamins, get a few extra toilet paper, for God's sakes. Don't run out of that.
That still floors me. I don't know why that was the thing.
It was.
Why was that the thing?
I don't know. But...
Is that somebody woke up and was like, what are we going to wipe our butts with if we don't? My first thing would have been, what are we going to drink and eat? But, like she said, sensible prepping. It's just normal
I just did
that you
inventory.
Need. You eat it every day.
I just did inventory the other day, and I just told him, I said, hey, it's time for me to make another run and do a little bit of replenishing of some of the stuff. We talk about this all the time. We eat off the front. We put in the back. I mean, it's just common sense.
1 is none. 2, what was that? I have a saying quite like that.
1 is none, 2 is 1, and 3 is done.
I have 1 is none, 2 is 1, and 3 is where you want to be. So it's the same thing. Same deal.
All right, going to the next one?
Yes, back on immigration. Guys, this is, I say it often, this has happened in Rome. It happened as these empires fall. You know, the few that rule other countries make life so hard and crappy on the citizens, they flee to the neighboring countries that have things are better. And if the country that they're fleeing to says, hey, just like Rome did, they made them soldiers, they rewarded them land, they encouraged this, just like the Biden administration is doing. This is not going to end well. So just, I don't know what to do about it. I'd like to drive my welding truck down there and cut the pins off the gates and weld them shut.
Oh my goodness, that'd be a video and a half. Hey. Okay, if you do that, I will video you. I will go down there and video. We'll probably be both arrested. Before we go any further, you guys, this is me again. I'm asking, would you click off the video and like it? We've got 386 and about, I don't know how many likes, 160. You guys, that helps us so much. We got in YouTube jail for a while because we said something that they didn't like, and it took us forever to get out of YouTube jail, and we're just scrambling to get out. We work every day to try to bring you guys as much information as possible. And then this morning, of course, we had the blackout, which I think YouTube probably did that to us.
At the end of the video, I would like to walk you guys through what happened this morning.
Well,
Not with the video, with everything I touched. It has been one of those days. We'll save that for the end of the video because I desire to give you the news right now. And I'd like
it has been one of those days. But you know what? It's okay. We made it through it.
I would like to talk about the average payment on a new home is now at a record $2,750 a month.
Yes, it is.
That is.
Yes, it is.
What was our?
I've got all that right here. Yep. It wasn't that. It was like 1968, something like that. And that was a 15-year mortgage. These are 30 and 40-year mortgages. And let's get into that a little bit.
Surely not 40-year yet. But the average house is now renting for a record $1,900 a month. This is crazy. I'm going to relate this back to the Great Depression and kind of some takeaways because we're pretty close to the same thing. Now, there's more jobs that they say there's more jobs. You know, they're pumping, hey, the economy's hot. You know, everything's great. But they're lying to you. Again, they're always lying. Sometimes they'll tell you the truth so you don't know which one's a lie and which one's not. The average new car payment is now $733 a month. The average used car payment is $530 a month.
And I just want to stop you on that. So people cannot even afford to get a used or a new vehicle. So used to, it was a 3-year. Do you guys remember that when it was a 3-year to get a car? Then it went to 5-year. Now they're actually doing 7-year loans. Think of not only the interest rate that they're paying.
There might be some people in here that do that.
But that is a lot of interest that you guys are paying.
Yeah, but if you want to do that and that's your thing.
Then know what you're getting into.
There's a lot of people that want it right now. They want to borrow now and don't worry about the future. If that's you, go for it. That's not what we recommend. Just, I don't want to talk down to anybody that likes debt and gets into it. We don't do that. There's a lot of reasons. But we also know a lot of people that do.
Well, but here's the thing is, do it. That's fine. But know what you're getting into. Look at the fine print. Look to see how much interest rate you're going to pay. Look to see at the final bill. Just when you buy a house, I tell my sellers and my buyers all the time when they buy their house, I'm like, look, and it's hard to see, but look at the end of that page to see actually what you're going to pay for that house when you pay that interest rate. Look to see, because that is what you need to know, what you're actually paying for that house. And if it keeps going the way it's going, you're not going to pay double. You're going to pay triple at this point if interest rates keep going up and you go to a 40-year mortgage. Keep going. Just as long as you know, do it. But as long as you know.
Yeah. No, some people still choose to do that.
Yep.
And, you do you. The average student loan payment will be $500 a month. And this is all as the economy's crashing and jobs are going away. The good jobs. And keep in mind, the people that went to school and got a degree in underwater basket weaving are now, they're still having to pay this loan, and they're getting the wrong incentives again. It's like, hey, we might pay your loan off. So some of them just quit. They're like, well, I'm not going to pay, if they're going to pay it off. And now they hadn't. So, people are getting behind on that. The average gallon of gas is nearing $4 a gallon again. Now, I can't wait to talk about 1930, but let me get through this. The average household credit card balance is now crazy $7,300. The average credit card debt. And most of them are carrying a balance. They're paying 20% interest. I don't know of anywhere you can go to get a 20% interest payout. But, guaranteed. So just know you're being had. Get out of it. Sell a kidney. I'm joking. It's not medical advice or financial advice or anything like that. The average household will have zero of excess savings by the end of this quarter. That is nutty. Where is this off of?
It's off Twitter.
Thread.
Yeah, it's called KOBEISSI letter. They're an accountant, and they do all this global capital marketing. And you can read article after article where they talk about where buying a house now costs $33,000 more. They have all these facts that I get off of here. I tell you guys, there's some amazing facts out there if you just go to look at it.
Well, I went and checked a lot of this.
It's on our Twitter. I shared it on our Twitter page.
and I wanted to relate it to some of the things that happened during the Great Depression. How can the average person afford to live? That's the question. That is the biggest question, right? How does the average Joe that just wants to go home and grill hot dogs and hamburgers on the weekend, how's he going to make it with all of these prices going up? Heaven forbid they've done some kind of HELOC and pulled money out of their house to go on vacation or get married on a variable rate interest rate. All that's coming. We're starting to see it here with our family members. Well, our friends and family, our people that we know. Now, inflation in the 1930s. Current inflation is 6.2%, is concerning the reminiscent of inflation experienced in and during the Great Depression. Gas prices in the 1930s were 10 cents a gallon. Okay? Well, okay, money was cheaper back then, right? Or it was more expensive. There wasn't as much, but wait. Equivalent to $1.66 today.
Well, our money back then was backed by the gold standard. It was a big difference.
Right. We were backed by the gold standard. It was $10. It was 10 cents a gallon, but still it's $1.60. It should be $1.60 according to the way it was.
Well, because we were backed by the gold standard and there was a difference.
No, but you're missing it. The $1.60, it's over double that.
Yeah, it's correct. It's like $4 now.
Right. So
Yep.
that's a major. Fuel is how we get our groceries, is how we get our packages, how we get everything. It's how you get to work. You got it.
That's how you get all your supplies.
Diesel is the lifeblood of the economy. Period. It's like that's how you can tell what economy is going to do. If diesel price goes sky high, people are fixing to really hurt. The average cost of living during the Great Depression was around $4,000 a year. Can you imagine that? $4,000 a year. Equivalent to $60,575 in today's money. Now, however, today's gas prices have reached an all-time high since 2014, averaging $3.40 a gallon. The increase of gas prices adds to the overall cost of living, but the average cost of living during the Great Depression, let's see, hold on. Oh, single person household. Okay, I got my notes mixed up. A single person household cost around $1,000 a month. Now, a family of 4 is $4,000 a month. So those prices seem high to me. They seem over, but I'm assuming that this is the people in California. It's an average, so it makes sense. The unemployment in the Great Depression was 24.9%. We are nowhere near that right now.
We know of.
Well, yeah. Now keep in mind, the job numbers are completely manipulated and they are wrong like all the time. And the jobs don't pay. Used to, a carpenter could support a family of 4 and the mother stay home and work and take care of the kids. It's not like that anymore. So one more thing. No, that's about it. The rest of it's labor shortages and...
Well, I saw a business the other day that actually shut down, and their sign said, it was actually in Arkansas, their sign said, "We are shutting down, I'm sorry, due to we cannot get hiring. We cannot find people to work." But yet they claim that there's, unemployment and all this kind of stuff. And so it's a different world we live in, you guys, these days. People expect so much. They feel they're so entitled, I think. They're not willing to work. A lot of people are not willing to start from ground and work up, which that's what Chris and I both have done. So I think there's a different just mentality in our work environment. You guys tell me what you think on that. But
the real unemployment is 24% today. Man, it might be.
And a lot of people are choosing not to go to work. Hit that down arrow so you can keep seeing the comments, because you screw that up when you do that. No, the blue down arrow. There you go. It'll keep it real.
That's it.
But I don't know. So I wonder sometimes when I watch, I see the different signs or whatever, and I walk into different places and they say, we're hiring now, but yet no one seems to be applying, but you say the unemployment is this. So I have a different view on it when actually you go out in the sector and you see. So what do you have next?
I've got a little bit about Social Security. Guys, I feel for anybody that's depending on the government. The government has made the wrong decision every chance they get. It's like they go out of their way to make the wrong decision. If you want something broke, let the government take control of it. That is like, they're like a raccoon. What they don't eat, they crap on. Yeah. You ever heard that one?
And his sayings. What was it, popcorn farts the other day, and now we got, what'd you just say?
What? Popcorn fart?
You just
that's an old one.
Well, but you say sayings all the time. What was the one? What they don't eat, the raccoon, what did you say?
The government is like a raccoon. What they don't eat, they crap on. It's true.
This is what I live
you
with
want something
sayings.
broke, let the government run it. That's what they do. They run things in the ground. There's no accountability, and, nobody is accountable for anything they do.
I'm going to stop you before you go into this video for this thing, because this is our last pretty much article that we've got.
Yep.
Is this it? All right. Before we go to this last article, and then he's going to tell you about our funny day that we had right now. We've got, how many? 442 people. We've got 268 likes. You guys, lock off, go like it, come back. And we're not going to be online probably tomorrow, which is Sunday, and probably Monday, because we probably are going to take Monday off for the holiday. So we're going to give away a piece of silver. So I'm going to let you pick the hashtag, and then we're going to go into the last article, and then I want you to tell us about our crazy day, because we have had a day and a half, you guys.
Yeah,
this is when you just hang on by your britches and go, all right, we got this.
It has been one of those days.
It has been.
And it started yesterday.
It did.
But it's only up from here.
So
just put hashtag silver. That's it.
All right.
Hashtag silver for 1 ounce of
buffalo.
silver. Deliver 1 ounce buffalo silver.
Yeah, I deliver it to you.
Deliver it to you. No strings attached. Please hit the like button if you don't mind. Subscribe. If you like content, we try to bring as much as possible. And you can put hashtag silver in as many times as you want.
Yep.
And all you have to do is call that number that you can barely see. 564 5823. 318-564-5823.
Well, let's go into this article while everybody's hitting hashtag silver. That gives them plenty of time, and then we'll go pick one. But you guys, thanks for hanging with us this morning, because I know we had a bad live stream, and we're trying to give you guys everything we've learned, and go for it.
The federal government takes taxes out of Social Security payments. The Social Security and Medicare are important for retirees and people with disabilities. Mm-hmm. Social Security benefits are crucial for women and communities of color. Cuts to Social Security benefits should be off the table. They should be going up. If they did the inflation right, if they didn't cherry pick the CPI, which is exactly what they do, who the heck eliminates food prices and fuel prices from the CPI? It's crazy.
They do.
Social Security and Medicare are important lifelines for our seniors. Guys, I want you to go out of your way, make the conversation uncomfortable, and talk to your seniors and your grandparents and your mother and father and anybody that doesn't know what's coming about their finances, because you never know. They might be in a pickle and they don't even know it.
Or they might be trying to get swindled. And you might be the person that is the voice of reason that makes them stop and think and go, oh, wait, maybe I shouldn't do this.
A $2,400 extra in Social Security checks may be coming. Social Security Expansion Act introduced to Congress. There's discussion on raising revenue and making the wealthy pay their fair share. See, that's another one right there. Make the wealthy pay their fair share. What do the wealthy do? They own businesses, right?
They do. They're the ones that pay salaries.
What do the businesses do when they have to pay their fair share? Well, they have to make their business profitable. Yep. So what does that have to do with the end product? The prices go up.
Yep. They lay off
It's
employees.
always the same. It ends the same way every time. Price controls don't work. This government handout crap is not a free lunch. It really grinds my gears, if you know what I mean.
He's getting a little. It does. We've been through this a couple times lately. We've listened to people. We've heard people's stories. We've been actually personally seeing some of this, and it's really gotten to the point where we're like, man, this is getting enough. Enough is enough. Keep going.
Discussion on taxing the wealthy to increase Social Security revenue. Investing $1,000 and the importance of emergency funds and paying down debt is something we should all be doing. And this is probably worse now. It was like 50% of Americans, people like us, people like you, don't have $400 if an emergency happens.
It's higher than that now. When I last looked,
I figured that. So we're looking at some really hard times.
So that's when I was talking to that lender the other day, and I was telling you, she said that people that could apply for a house loan 6 months ago, now they can't qualify a loan. Even though the interest rates are up, they can't qualify because they don't have money in the accounts anymore, and their credit card debt has gone up because they don't have the funds, and they're using credit cards just to live on. So you guys, it is. I don't think we're seeing it all right in our face, but it's there if you just talk to the people and you just look.
The number one thing to do to get ready for the apocalypse, aside from the things you know you're going to need, like water and food, the normal stuff, is get out of debt. Get out of credit card debt. I know that's not fun. It's not a fun conversation. It's not fun to say. You're tired of hearing it. I know I should get them. Guys, that monkey, when it gets off your back, you're going to feel so much better. You're going to be free. Being in debt is slavery. And it talks a lot in the Bible about it. I took some notes this morning about it, but my Bible's over there. But do your best to be able to be part of the solution and not be part of the problem. Because it's coming every day. I get less and less comments about the real estate market's never going down. I used to get them every video I used to.
Well, let's pick some silver, and then I want you to tell what happened of our. Because you guys say every time, you're like, what happens to you guys? Well, we have had a doozy of a day and a half.
Okay.
So, go all the way down.
Some silver.
Go. Oh, man, you got some silver. You have to go ways. Go ways. Keep going. I'm going to leave it up to you.
All right.
All right.
Whoa,
All right, there you
there we
go.
go.
There you go. Now keep going down. Go down. Go down. Go down.
All
Go
right,
down
ready?
more. No, go. Keep. No. No,
All right,
you're
go.
going the wrong way. Go the other way.
No, it went back to the bottom.
Oh, it did?
All right, you ready?
Stop.
You guys are putting it in so fast.
It was you had your finger on Lisa Stewart.
Lisa Stewart.
Lisa Stewart. You had your finger on it and then it moved. So Lisa Stewart, that's who we're going to call. Because it moves so fast.
Lisa Stewart, there she was again.
There she goes, yeah. Lisa Stewart, you won. So let me know and we'll be in touch. I think I know who you are. So if you're the Lisa Stewart I'm thinking of, we'll get you some silver. I think you've ordered from us before. But anyway, so tell.
Perfect. All you have to do is text that number, 318-564-5823. And guys, if you're into hedging your wealth, we try to provide the best prices. Staci's a broker for Miles Franklin, but I want to encourage you to just get it.
We'll get different
Doesn't have
bids.
to be here.
And
Get
also,
2 other bids. Make Staci your third. That's what I do for my projects.
we got a question asked, do we buy back? Absolutely, we do buy back. Just give me a call, 318-564-5823, and I will help you get a quote for buyback. So sometimes you guys ask, you're like, because sometimes I was talking to someone the other day, and they're like, a lot of these YouTubers, they're like, oh, they just get on YouTube, but they don't really live anything. They just get on there and make a video, and they don't really have anything. And I came out, I was talking to Chris, and I was laughing. I was like, man, if they could have seen our life for the day and a half, they would be laughing.
It is kind of sick. Look, put in the
You
comments.
should see-
I'm not going to call anybody out. But who does this? You got to leave right now. This is really bad, guys. This is so bad.
Chris, stop.
We just got to
Stop.
go.
Stop.
It's every video. I'm so sick of it. Guys, we're going to prosper through this. We are not. We're the head and not the tail, okay? we're not, I don't want to fall into that category of doom and gloomer.
No, yeah, we want to be supportive. We want to provide solutions. But anyway, so you guys asked what we do. So we started out the other day. As you guys know, we talked about what we do with some of our money. So we bought some of the land that came up next to us. And you guys, this has been months ago. We started clearing it. Well, Chris started putting a pole barn up the other day. And oh my God.
Alaska Pulper's here. What's up,
I need
buddy?
to put a video up of him trying to put that pole barn up. So tell what happened with the track hoe. And what happened with the whole...
Okay.
We have had a day and a half, let me just tell you.
So I built a pole barn 1 foot off the ground so I could put, this is 60 foot. It's a 60-foot pole barn. I built it 1 foot off the ground so I could put the tin, weld all the angle iron on it, get it all ready so we have a place to put our camper, because the camper is like the extra room. You know, your family come over, they go to the camper. They're not in your house, right? Okay, so I wanted a place to put it, build a septic tank, all that, but the campers are tall, like 12'6", 13 foot. Oh, probably not 13, it's probably 12.
You said it was 12'6", I think, or something like that. We did 6 inches above that or something.
So I built the dirt up, you know, made it all flat. That boosted it another foot. Then the peak of the building is 3 foot higher than the trusses. So we're looking at like 17, 18 foot. And I'm putting this up with a tractor and a track hoe. All right.
And I'm raising
Track
him up
hoe's a
on
buddy
the
of
forks.
All right, so we're putting this thing up, and I've got these couplings that you take the 1 foot of pipe out, or 10 inches, and you put different sections of pipe in. So you can make it as tall as you want. And then whenever you're done, you get all level, you weld them up, which I just finished today. Go to the welding channel, Taylor Welding, be in the description. Somebody pin it in the comments. One of my moderators, please pin Taylor Welding in the comments. But what happened was I signaled the track operator to pick up. He picked it up. We were trying to get it all ready. The tractor wouldn't pick it up enough. I had my forks out there and a jib pole, and it was just stretched all the way out. That's all it would do. And one of the poles came unplugged, and it did like this. Just like I'm looking at you. It went raw, and he was like, nothing he could do. Smash the glass. Went through that glass and all the way to the other glass. And it's like...
into the track hoe.
Yeah. So it's a broken glass, right?
So
it's
I walk
911.
outside, and I'm like, what the heck? And they're looking at me going, pole just came through the
So
track
the
hoe.
guy, good friend of mine, he's got to have the track hoe for a job. It's coming up. So I overnight the glass. I'm like doing everything I can do to get here. Well, they send the wrong glass. They send the right glass, but they didn't send the bottom pieces. They got both pieces. So, all right, so be it. We'll take care of that. Well, today I was clearing some land.
Oh no, I got to tell you. So one more story before you go any further than that. So Chris, this is how this, I wish you got to post a video. I know it's going to be like not safety, but literally I raise him up on the forks, you guys. Raise him up on the forks of a tractor. He gets on the top of the tin. You guys should see him at the top. He gets on the top, and it's like a skater, or like a balancing. He's doing like gymnastics across the top. And then he like literally slides all the way down back to
Well, that's
the
because
forks.
it's 13 foot in the air and it's all
And he gets
moving
back on
around.
my forks, and I'm lowering him up and down. You want to talk about praying that God will keep us safe.
So the next thing that happened was I blew a humongous hose that went straight
Yes,
from
you
the hydraulic pump to the arm of the track hoe. Just a freak thing.
All
blew
going
up.
everywhere.
Spewing all over the equipment. So things rock on, and so we got to do a live stream. All this is going on, and I got a live stream coming up. It's like,
Chris,
running here and grab my notes. Stacy getting started. We're not ready. And so we get everything ready to sit down, and the computer messes up, and our camera quits.
It goes black.
You guys were part of that this morning. I'm sorry. I'm doing my best here, but I'm not a tech guy, you know.
Anyway, that's so sometimes you guys wonder, you're like, you know, what do you guys do or
It's
whatever.
kind of a madhouse.
Yeah. So after he got back off the live stream, that's what he went out and did. He worked all day, and then we're back on it again. But anyway, so you guys ask me all the time. You're like, what do you guys do? Like, what is your day? Like,
We're doing everything we're saying we're doing.
Yeah.
I'm not getting in a car and driving to a parking lot and talking. I'm actually doing.
I want you to get out there and show them the pole barn you're building
I
next
can't get out
time.
there, but it's dark.
No,
I
tomorrow.
got the trusses right over here.
It's
That's a flat roof truss.
It's
I'll have to
really
show
looking
you
good.
that
I'm so
later.
excited. He's going to do
Go to the
a
welding channel. I'm going to try to put it on the welding channel, and I cannot wait to put the pool on the welding channel.
Well, tell them about the side. You're going to put a side, although on the back of the pole barn, which is going to be awesome. We're going to help put all of our stuff, like our lawnmowers, our tractors, or different things like that. Keep them out of the weather. So it's just, pole barns are huge. When you have a farm like us, you have chickens and garden and all this kind of stuff. Chris, he
The fish are doing really good. We were just out there. We actually went for a swim in the pond. I was all hot and sweaty. And so they said, "You want to go swim?" I said, "Yes, I do."
Before we came
So
to
we
the live
went
stream.
and jumped off the dock and went for a swim. And if you stay moving, the fish won't bother you. But we went and got some measurements, and it looks like the pool is going to be 30 foot wide. It's going to be, I didn't think it was going to be that wide. Stacy's like, "We need to go bigger." So it's going to be 30 foot wide.
I want bigger.
And the deck around the pool is going to be 6 foot. And this is a floating pool in the pond. I've never seen anything like it. And for you guys that don't know anything about it, I'm going to filter the pond water through a mass filter and pump it into the pool. And it'll be constant clean water coming in. And, oh, we got a super chat. See you in Vegas. That's awesome, man.
We are the head, not the tail, above and not beneath. I love that. Hello from Virginia, Ken and Teresa. We'll be calling you soon. I think I know who you guys are,
Awesome,
Teresa.
Kendra. Thank you so much for the super chat.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hey guys, the Silver Symposium is going to be a lot of fun. We are going to have so many people there, and subscribers galore, community members galore. It's going to be a lot of fun. But that's enough for tonight, guys. We've been on here over an hour. Have an awesome day. We'll see you in the next one. Later.